Hello, my name is Jo Salter and I was Britain's first female fast jet pilot in the Royal Air Force. I think that it was more about opportunity than initial inspirations, although I had been once to the Biggin Hill Air Show when probably I was about 11 or 12, and I just remember seeing the red arrows and thinking how amazing they were. But apart from that, didn't really have any inspiration. People didn't fly on holidays. It really was about the opportunity to go and study engineering that took me into the Air Force. And then when they announced that women could fly, I was just in the right place at the right time. Really, I think that the biggest challenge is ourselves, that actually getting over ourselves, and that we are the people who stop ourselves. So when I look back and think of some of the choices and decisions that I've made, the times when I really have put my own sort of, thrown the teddies out the cot, one could even say, or I haven't taken the best opportunity because of something that has stopped me or hindered me. And so my biggest lesson in life is just give yourself permission to go for it, risk it, try it, because I don't believe that we'll regret in the future those things that we tried. I think we'll regret those things that we didn't. Definitely bringing up 2 children. I think that's so hard, 2 young ladies, and just spending time with them as well in this really busy world. And that, definitely I'm proudest of those 2. Is that it takes compromise, that if you want to be able to fly and have a career and have a family, that everything has to sort of shift and balance depending on the stage of life you're at. And I do believe that that ability to change into whatever we need to be at the time really helps us do that well.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think that you can't go and join this group, which if you think about the frontline squadron, you can't just come in and be totally and utterly different. You've already learnt through the years of training how to fit in many ways, how to behave, that safety is first, that, the standard operating procedures, the SOPs of being a pilot. So all of those elements all add up to it. And I would say that I probably gave a little bit of my femininity away. Not that I've ever really felt that feminine, to be honest, but that those elements that make me who I am today, I probably covered some of those just to make sure that I was succeeding. And I think we can sometimes believe people expect us to behave a certain way, and then we can model that behaviour rather than thinking, who am I? What are my values? What's my purpose? How can I be true to that? I think when we think about organisations, and the RAF is an organisation, it's just made up of people. So we can sometimes build this view that an organisation has a decision-making power and a thought, when actually it's the people who are within it. And of course, when I joined, some of the people that were in it were from a different era and a different expectation. So of course there were some people who perhaps didn't think that women should be doing that job. And there were also some people, and I could identify key individuals who, without their support, without them really in the background enabling and smoothing my path, I would never have got to where I got to, because they stood up and said, well, what we need are good pilots, because it's irrelevant. Catherine, that it is a brain operating a machine. It's about capability and skill. It's not about gender. It's not about our experience. It's not about our background or social group. It's totally about whether we can fly or not. I think allies all over the place, because I don't separate off allies in terms of gender, because actually we need all sorts of people to support us as we go through life and at different stages. And how we turn up for others is really the best way to think about it. So how can I be an ally to you? How can I be an ally to my daughters? How can I be an ally to my best friend who's male? So all of these things are about how do we step up so that we help make a difference to other people. I can answer 2 different phases of my life. So earlier in my life, in my career, it was absolutely irrelevant. I was a pilot. What I see and recognise now is the importance of what happened and what I did, which didn't feel like it at the time. I just felt like I was a pilot and I was working hard and I was doing a good job and I was learning and I was, yes, different from the people I was with, but it was amazing as well. Now I really, when you look at the statistics, when you look at that it's still single figures of female pilots, well, not only nationally but internationally, apart from India, of course, who seem to be doing better, but they're still only in the 12 to 15%. Why is that the case? How is that still happening today? So therefore, we do need role models. We do need people to step up and help allow young women and men the knowledge that this is a career that they could do, because as we know, it is an amazing job. I just have this belief that we need to change our whole education system. I think our education system is a little bit mixed up, and I'm hoping that one of the benefits of AI and technology could be actually a complete reset, so that we are building people with the skills and capabilities that we need for the future, whatever that may be, and that includes being a pilot. Because I still believe that however much we love technology, that the human individual, the psyche of a human being, will be nervous to get into an aeroplane that doesn't have a pilot in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Belonging is such an interesting element, because as we were saying earlier, I never have really felt that I've belonged everywhere or anywhere. And in fact, I met somebody, I was working somewhere yesterday, and this lady came in and she started talking to me about belonging, and she said she always feels at the periphery. And I said, I always feel like I'm hanging on by the rail, flying on the outside. And I wonder whether that's true of lots of us. Makes me think, who does actually feel that they belong to whatever group that we may be talking about, when we genuinely think about that? And it makes me wonder, what should we be doing about that? Especially to make sure that when young people are coming into the workforce, how do we, as we get older, put our hand out and help and make people feel that they do belong and that they should be there, that they have the right to, and that they are wanted?